A very, very busy week for all trading desks. It could easily go to 3,000. The key issue is going to be liquidity. War like this has such a huge impact on the market. When the next rally comes, I'm not so sure, anything below the top 30 to 50 in market cap, they will rally together. The market was quite excited about ETFs.
You ready to buy the dip?
应该还有点准备抄底，比特币是真正的法币。
What you're proposing?
Lock in that 2% risk-free gain.
It doesn't mean that OTC is not for you.
Hey guys, it's Mia. We're very happy to have Charles, the head trader at Genesis Block in Hong Kong again. Last time we talked about OTC trading, and today we'll talk more about the current market conditions.
Hi, thanks for having me again, Mia. Good to see you. It's been a very, very busy week for all trading desks. We've seen the markets move downwards in the big direction since pretty much the Bitcoin Cash fork. So these are the things I want to talk about today.
How did people react to the market crash?
Yeah, so we've been in a very sideways market since September. It's been very boring. It's been very difficult for individual investors to pick a direction. Do they want to go long or short? Unfortunately, it went the wrong way. We saw a huge crash, and the timing was just about the time of the Bitcoin Cash fork. So just to cover the background of what happened with the Bitcoin Cash fork, it was really two communities fighting on their individual vision. The two sides, BCH ABC and BCH SV. SV stands for Satoshi's Vision. Essentially, it's a war between Bitmain, Roger Ver versus Craig Wright, so-called, he calls himself Satoshi Nakamoto. So they were threatening to send all their Bitcoin, sell all of it to fund this war. And as you know, for any Bitcoin consensus, it's all about the hash power. So they were willing to sell their crypto to fund and basically buy more hash power.
So Charles, can you tell us your opinions on the Bitcoin Cash fork and which side do you support?
In general, people don't like Craig Wright. He's been very quite rude and obnoxious on social media. He's been hating on pretty much altcoins besides Bitcoin SV. For Bitmain and Roger Ver, they have their direction. Can't really say who's right and who's wrong. I think the bigger picture issue is that a war like this has such a huge impact on the market, and it really just shows that liquidity is very thin. In other words, very low volume, and small issues like this can cause Bitcoin to move over $1,000.
Now the market has crashed, and some people they say I'm all in, and some people say I'm crypto homeless, I'm all out. As a head trader here at Genesis Block, can you tell us what's the conditions? What are people doing now?
Yeah, so unfortunately, we're not seeing a huge amount of buying. We had many of our clients trying to get in below 6,000, but some of them have bought, some of them have gotten scared again. So they're lowering their entry price. So it looks like right now we're at around 4,200. People are waiting for the entire crash to stop, and it's really hard to say where the bottom will be, but it could easily go to 3,000.
The crypto winter is maybe far from over. We don't know how long the bear market will continue. What's your opinion? When will the glorious days in crypto space be back?
Probably going to be a while. The market was quite excited about ETFs, BOCT, which is a deliverable forward for Bitcoin. Essentially, it's going to be a regulated exchange in the US where people can buy Bitcoin and they'll actually physically deliver that Bitcoin to you. So it's very different to what you see in the futures, such as BitMEX, where people are gambling on the direction, but this is about people actually wanting to buy and own Bitcoin. So that was supposed to be in December. Unfortunately, I think there's been some pushback from the regulators, so it's been delayed to January. Fingers crossed, we get ETFs and we get BOCT all done by January. We've had good news from Fidelity and Goldman regarding institutional custody. This would allow crypto funds or traditional hedge funds to start trading Bitcoin or other cryptos to a larger scale. So, there's a lot of good things to come. Timing-wise, hopefully, first half of next year.
What will happen to all those altcoins during the bear market?
So we've seen some pretty bad news. I guess it's expected news from regulators, especially in the US. Now they're cracking down on exchanges that trade these tokens. And of course, the companies themselves that raised money through an ICO. These are basically being called unregistered securities. And it's illegal. There are penalties involved. And it's really just the beginning. There's so many companies out there that need to be, I guess, penalized. So for altcoins in general, I know maybe a lot of the viewers have some positions, but when the next rally comes, I'm not so sure anything below the top 30 to 50 in market cap, they will rally together. And the main reason is when the new money comes in, which should be mostly institutional, they're not going to have interest in these very illiquid and low market cap tokens.
We've seen a shift of focus from ICOs to STOs. Like as a hat trader here, do you also see this trend?
Yeah, STOs, there's a lot of talk. It doesn't look like a lot of action. So I do know I've spoken to a fair amount of lawyers and so on that are advising on companies that want to do an STO. There are some countries that, regulation-wise, they're willing to support it. The key issue is going to be liquidity. If the rules are all the same, then most of these tokens will not be tradable for at least 6 months to a year. So it'll be very difficult for us to see a very big boom like we did for ICOs. Anyone can invest and so on. That's probably not going to be the same for STOs.
I heard that it's very likely Hong Kong will be the STO hub. So what do you think about that?
What I have read is the SFC, so they regulate securities trading. What they've done is put out a draft on potential regulations around STOs and actually cryptocurrency in general. So the content of that is mostly talking about crypto funds needing to be regulated. If you're going to invest a certain portion of your portfolio into crypto, you need to be licensed under the SFC. Regarding STOs and actually even exchanges, they haven't given clear guidelines. So we'll have to see, what they put out in the future.
So are there any strategies to survive the winter?
I think there's been a lot of demand on options. These are basically financial derivatives around crypto. The key benefit is you can use these options to protect your downside. At the same time, you can also use it as a way to generate some small returns on your crypto holdings. So I think there's been quite some demand there from institutions. Unfortunately, the market for this is not very developed yet, but there's a lot of OTC desks working together to try and standardize this type of market.
Do you get many visitors here at Genesis Block recently?
Yeah, so definitely seeing a lot more new clients coming in. As you can see, we're renovating our event space. So all of this is new. We'll be back open next week and actually hosting a grand opening party. Yeah, so we'll be doing meetups again starting next week. Hopefully 2 or 3 lined up already. So look out for that on Meetup and look forward to people coming in and stopping by.
What's the topic for the meetup?
Yeah, so the first thing will be a grand opening party. We're going to have free flow champagne, draft beer, and so on. We already have an interesting project flying in from the US called Harmony. I think people who are familiar with ICOs may have heard of that project. So Nick White will actually be speaking. Very smart guy. He'll be at Genesis Block. Yeah, so look out for that.
Very nice to see you again, Charles. And thank you for today, sharing your thoughts with us. We'll be back next month when Bitcoin is at 2,000.